Welcome to the Academic Architect PDO podcast. Today's title is Sorry, President Obama, but no, we can't. I know we all got pumped up when the first then Black presidential potential, President Obama, convinced us all that yes, we can. There are many contexts where that little chant is warranted, like saying that we can be the best that we can be one moment at a time. But when it comes to educating our children or monitoring their education in a way that will align them with their life purpose, I'm sorry, President Obama, but no, we can't. Yes, we can believe that our children can grow up to be anyone they dream to be. Yes, we can believe that our children can grow up to find disease cures and change the world. Yes, we can believe that our children can discover, uncover, invent, and innovate. But can an education novice align a child with their destiny? No, we can't. Now, before anyone gets all offended with the phrase education novice, it doesn't mean that one is uneducated. Simply refers to a person who is inexperienced in the field of educating. Aligning a child with their life purpose is not a task for a novice. In fact, it's unethical to do our best or to try our hardest when it comes to guiding our children to their ideal destiny. But I can totally hear some critics chanting that people can only do their best. But a child's life cannot be a victim of a trial and error fail. So what? We tried and failed on one child, so we just try again on the second child? Oops, I screwed up her life. Sorry, baby. Let's see if I can do a better job on my son's life. What I'm getting at is that we love to take comfort in saying that there is no rule book to raising a child. So that when as parents we screw up, our kids just have to use a crutch to survive in their future life. But that's a bunch of pushnips. There's no rule book? Pushnips. There are thousands of rule books on how to prepare a child to succeed, thrive, excel, and innovate. And they all say the same thing. Education first. Wait, I thought it was God first. God is education, right? We teach our children about God, then we teach them about the globe. We teach them how to love, and we teach them that they have a soul. I would boldly state that less than 1% of parents are capable of aligning their children with their destiny. Furthermore, a large portion of that 1% of parents are parents who happen to be educators themselves. I say a large portion because not all educators are equipped with the knowledge of how to link their children's learning with their future ambitions. And that is my exact point. It's more than just being able to educate our children with academics. It's also about being able to balance education with life skills that will propel them to fulfilling the exact purpose for which they are created. I can think of one parent educator that does an excellent job aligning her children with purpose, independent of external tutoring or support. And that is because she has the secret formula, which again is education first in combination with a few specific life skills. I can also think of a second parent I know who tries hard, very hard, but misses the mark. With this second mom, I like the way she balances her son's education with sports. But while his sports ethics is high, his learning competence is definitely off. And this will throw him off the course of his ideal destiny. Then what will he do later in life? Especially if the sports doesn't work out. For example, if he doesn't get drafted, then what will he do? Well, if mom properly balances his love for sports with an adequate amount of education, then he will be just fine and likely be able to work in the field of his passion. The heart of the issue is that we live in a DIY nation where everyone thinks that we can do everything ourselves. Can we DIY a treehouse? Yes, we can. Can we DIY a backyard pool? Even if we shouldn't? Yes, we can. Can we align our children with the greatness God instilled within them without the proper training? No, we can't. So, AA, PDO, what should we do? Get serious about our children's education. Let's stop bouncing from one tutoring educational program to the next. Let's stop trying to do the best that we can and just do better. If we're novices to how to align our children, we need to accept it and immediately change our course. We are all novices in some area, so let's not get hung up on that. The trial and error path is unethical because if we're on that path, it's because we don't know the right steps to take. And isn't that just like being in a maze? Why would we waste time pulling our children through a maze when we know the secret is to educate them to level 10? And let me be clear that sending our children to school every day is not the educating them that I'm speaking about. I'm talking about the out-school learning that supplements the classroom instruction. And I'm sorry to tell you, majority of tutoring programs cannot provide this level of learning. And it's not because they're incapable, because once we as parents, we allow our children's window of opportunity to close, we can no longer afford the tutoring center's fix. And so we bypass that option and we just say, oops, sorry, baby. Amazing former President Obama motivated us to remember that yes, we can. We can seek the proper course to educate our children in a way that aligns them with their purpose. Aligning a life with its destined purpose is an actual skill. If we are unskilled in that area, then we're just practicing. But is that ethical to allow an unskilled apprentice to practice in a life? I mean, would you allow a novice surgeon to practice open heart surgery on you? Or would you feel comfortable with someone who says, because they have teeth in their mouth, then they think that they can successfully remove yours? It's the same idea. Many times we think that because we have children, we automatically know how to align them with their purpose. It's not the same as saying because we have kids, then sure, God equipped us to be able to raise our children with the basic survival skills and to provide their physiological needs. But aligning them with purpose, it's different. And if we know that we are in need of guidance, then let's get some. You know, many of us were destined for something other than what we accomplished. We're somewhere in the vicinity of where God wanted us to be, but not exactly. In science, this describes the distinction between accuracy and precision. A majority of us learned how to survive and to be contented in the area that we landed, but we also know that there was more to be achieved. Parents, I'm your academic architect PDO, and I'm an advocate for children. And I'm a big advocate for developing children to align with their real purpose in life. Because somehow I just feel like that some of our children have a certain greatness in them that the world needs. A certain greatness that's going to bring forth a kind of change the world has never seen, but is in desperate need of. But if we fail to develop our children, then, it impacts the world, society, but most of all, it impacts them. Because what's worse than a life in vain, and that's a person who never really fulfilled their purpose. It's like your life was in vain. And I just can't imagine that for anyone. To live on earth and die and never fulfilled the mission that they were sent here for. So, you want to find out more about how to align your child with their purpose? Email me. AAPDO, that's DOUBLEA, PDO @gmail.com. Otherwise, in the meantime, please continue to do better. Until the next podcast, I'm your academic PDO signing out. Until next time, bye.